Is Nancy Lieberman there, Todd?
She sure is.
All righty. Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. I'm going to say this. This is going to sound like I'm, kind of catering to Nance. Better passer than Caitlin Clark. Okay? Better passer. I've seen it firsthand. And I'm sure, Nancy, would you agree? Are you a better passer than Caitlin Clark?
We both did our thing on the basketball court. I admire how she pushes the ball up the floor, her head's up, she's seeing her teammates. Dan, there's been great passers in the history of women's basketball. I'm glad to be one of them.
That's a humble yes is what that was. Do you know that we played a pickup game in Dallas and Dion was in the game? Ken Norton Jr. So Nance is running the point. And grown men were getting hit in the side of the head because they didn't have their head on a swivel. And if you ever have played a game with Nance, you have to have your head on a swivel because she will find the open person. And I remember Dion's out there, Ken Norton Jr., and you're running the point.
It was fun. We had a lot of fun. People don't realize that for those 17 years before the WNBA started, I had to play against guys like you. I had to play for the Lakers. I had to play for the Jazz. I had to play in the USBL. My daily routine was going to the downtown YMCA in Dallas and playing against NBA guys. So, my skills were sharpened, right? Iron sharpens iron. And you guys, I would have loved to have those 17 years to play against the Tarasis and the Kelsey Plums, right?
Yeah. And your nickname's Lady Magic. So, you were doing things that probably a lot of players weren't doing back in the day. And then what was it like? You met Muhammad Ali, correct?
Oh, he was my friend and my hero for 37 years. He changed my life. He taught me all the soft skills and the tough skills that I have today. He taught me to respect everybody, to fear nobody. And he taught me to be an everyday champion. He taught me about racism. He taught me about philanthropy. He taught me about being an entrepreneur and how to lift your sport. And I'm grateful that this man was in my life for all those years. And Dan, like those last 10 or 12 years, for me to be with him in his home in Phoenix and feed him and put his bib on and hold his hand and just tell him how grateful I was for everything that he instilled into my life, and supportive. Even when I was hired, the second female hired in the NBA with the Sacramento Kings, second phone call was to the Alis. He came to my first game in Phoenix. I mean, he was so supportive of me.
That's great. And one more thing, Nance used to play pickup games. You went to Rucker Park, didn't you?
Practically lived in Rucker Park. I love it there. I would take the A train from Far Rockaway. It was about 40 minutes into Manhattan. Switch trains. I believe it was the E. Get off at 155th. Walk into Rucker. Have the T-shirts in my jacket, so I looked menacing. And the guys would look at me like, little girl. I was just a little skinny redheaded kiddo. And they go, little girl, are you lost? And I'm like, no, are you? And they're like, do you know this is Rucker Park? And I'm like, yeah, I know. Like, great people play here. Is your name Rucker? And they would say, no. I said, good. It ain't your park. And I have lifelong friends, guys who protected me, rode the train with me. Actually, those experiences taught me, my mother, not to be racist or judgmental, because there was this love and kindness and bond with people that didn't look like me. It was amazing.
Nancy Lieberman, Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. You've called a few WNBA games. Before I get to Caitlin Clark, watching her, how would you sum up this WNBA season?
It's historic. It's amazing. I'm sure Commissioner, Kathy Engelbert and Adam Silver and Mark Tatum, everybody are looking at this and saying, we had hoped that this would happen. We, the players of my generation, had hoped this would happen. And to see just the enormous ratings, I think we're up like 346% ratings. We're on all platforms. Social media has been a part of it. The players that came out of college really, brought a lot of their cachet to the WNBA. And there's a healthy respect for the legends of the game that are currently playing, like the Tarasis and just, like the Tamika Catchings and the Sue Birds and some of the really great players that were a part of, the last, 25 plus years.
All right, you've done a couple of how many games have you done, Caitlin Clark?
A couple. I went to see her in college. We got to be friends. She won my award, and I promised I'd go see her play, and I did her last game in Iowa. I recently did the game in Dallas, the WNBA game. She's just exceptional. I mean,
But is
she's
she being
exceeding.
treated differently on the court as a rookie?
Well, when you say being treated differently, is the physicality there? Well, yes, of course, the physicality is there. She has to earn her stripes. 17% of all flagrant fouls this year in the W. There's been 32 as of the other day, and 5 of them have been against Caitlin Clark. But let me say this: she has taken everything that's come her way. And look what the Indiana Fever have done since the All-Star break. I think they're 7-1. They've clinched. They're 18-16. They had not made the playoffs in 8 years. And Boston and Mitchell are just crushing it right now. They've got a lot going on. I give Christy Sides a lot of credit, their coach.
Okay, but why is she? I don't want to say she's polarizing, but it feels like Caitlin Clark is controversial for some reason. Like, how did we get to this point?
You know what? We got to this point because this point has happened before. You know well enough that in 1984, when Michael Jordan came into the NBA, the ratings in the NBA were not great. Chicago Stadium was, a third full, and he comes in from college, winning the championship at North Carolina, and the Jordan rules are in effect. They're knocking, the heck out of him. He's getting the lion's share of the attention. The games are now all of his games are on TV. And he just was a polarizing figure. And Tiger Woods was like that when he went to the PGA as well. He changed the total economics of golf the same way Michael Jordan changed the financial economics of the NBA. And I think with that, there's going to be, it's human nature sometimes to have some envy or some jealousy. And it's happening now to Caitlin Clark. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to be a part of that, but everybody in this league is a part of the success right now. Angel is, we haven't had a chance to see Cameron Brink because she hurt herself. Rakia Jackson from Tennessee is amazing. Angel Reese just broke the record, the WNBA record for rebounding in a single season as a rookie. She's been enormous in what she's done. And Camila Cardozo. I mean, there's some great young talent along with Caitlin Clark. And, other players wanted to see what you got. All right, can you take the next level? Diana Taurasi said it right early. She says, these players, including Caitlin, are going to come to the W, and they're playing against, grown women who have been at this for a long time. It's okay. It's called competitiveness. It's called, a will to win. And if you have the skill set, if you're a great player, you're going to be great no matter what. She's a great player. She's not just breaking, Caitlin, rookie records anymore. She's breaking W records. Angel Reese isn't just breaking rookie records. They're breaking W records. And you have to respect that. But there's also going to be players that are going to be tough on you. That's just the nature of the beast.
I know, but they're trying to make this a Rookie of the Year race with Angel Reese. And I said, just stop. And I likened Angel Reese, the way she rebounds, to Moses Malone. And just offense and defense, she's relentless. Caitlin Clark is just different. This is a different stratosphere. Caitlin Clark should be runner-up to A'ja Wilson for MVP this season. League value, team value, playoffs, and doing things that we have not seen before by a rookie. Any problems with any of those comments?
No, I don't. I think she is definitely. First, let me just state this: A'ja Wilson is the best basketball player in the world. She's unbelievable. And as great as she is, A'ja on the court and the MVP of the Olympics, her motor and her leadership. I mean, people want to be around her. Kids just adore her. She's got mega endorsements, her own shoe, a great book that I believe, is a bestseller. She's the top of whatever list you have. And then you have a list of other people who are having superior years. I mean, Nafisa Collier is just having a killer season right now with Minnesota. They're one of the top teams in the league that are going to vie for a championship. Cheryl Reeves is a great coach, our Olympic coach. I look at what Sabrina has done. This season is her best season, getting to the rim more, not just being, labeled a 3-point shooter. Caitlin Clark is in that next grouping under Asia Wilson of players who should be considered. And look, I know there's people that love LeBron James, don't like LeBron James, love Michael Jordan, don't like, the competitive, who is better? What generation is better? You're going to have that. That's just what sports is. But we shouldn't hate on somebody who's actually doing her job. And she's doing it really well and exceeding expectation. And a lot of these young players in the league, that's why the W is so appealing right now. And it's one of the most rated leagues in the world. And, I'm proud to be a part of it. I'm proud to see what's happening with the game. And, I hope that the great players in the league right now, whether it's Breanna Stewart or Collier or, Taurasi, Brittany Griner, I want them to continue to shine with Asia and some of the other players. But these rookies, they don't want to be labeled rookies. They're ballers. They're coming after you. They're coming for your job. They want guaranteed contracts. They want to have long-term success and make a lot of money.
Great to catch up with you again, Nance.
Thank you, Dan.
I think I could still take you on the court.
You couldn't go left.
We know what happened when I was on the court, Nance. And
you know what? You're bigger and stronger and better when we played than I had ever thought. And I did tell you that.
Yeah.
You are a legit basketball player at a high level.
And I think you said handsome, too, at the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Always handsome.
Just don't want to misquote you. Thank you, Nance. Always great to see you.
Thank you. Bye.
Nancy Lieberman. Yeah. I'm telling you, on the court, great, great, great passer.